measure by Deng Ming Dao. Birthdays, anniversaries, memorials, festivals measure our progress on the path. How old are you? Have you made a life you can look back on and be satisfied? How long have you been practicing your devotions? Can you look back on years of unbroken progress? How long has it been since a significant world event? Has the world gone any further in creating collective good? Is today a day of celebration? How much have you done since the last holiday? Each day of measure is a milestone on the path. If you're just beginning on the path, then it is good to determinedly look forward to the day when you can look back on a year, a decade, or many decades of perseverance. If you are today standing on the vantage point of some anniversary, then count the time that you have maintained your progress, and be glad. Those who follow Dao do not celebrate their birthdays, do not mark the anniversary of their embarking on the path. They say that following Dao is one continuous flow, not to be violated by the calendar. They are like hikers who wander, not worrying about the road, not concerned about distance or time. The rest of us have not yet attained that level of pure spontaneity. For we who are still struggling to maintain a foothold on the path, it is profitable to look forward to passing milestones as a way of encouraging ourselves and measuring our progress. So, not only should one seize the day, but one should measure it as well. Measuring our days is something that I came across just over 10 years ago, and that's when I started to rate my days. And I followed a systemised program, a structured program, and I've honed it and refined it since then, added things to it, taken things away, much like one crafts a piece of work over a long period of time. And I call it the Diamond Heart Path. And the purpose of it is to integrate all the functions of man, or rather all the functions of your organism, your mind, body and spirit, in order to invigorate the soul. And through this transmutation, this invigorating the soul, one becomes aware of higher levels of consciousness in which novel meanings present themselves, and in which one's life is radically altered along a far more fulfilling way. So everyone has their own path with heart, but not everyone can skillfully put all these elements together. And I found that measuring my days and giving myself scores for activities and penalties for laziness, I was able to attain to a level of discipline and function in which I could direct my own life along my chosen designs. So I wasn't merely a victim of the bad circumstances or difficulties that I thought at one stage were perhaps inconquerable. And one gains confidence after a lifetime of struggle. So, and once you have achieved a level of proficiency, you can move between activities, move between functions, and be an altogether more expansive being, capable of a far more complete life, because you shouldn't get too obsessed with the word spiritual or any ism, whether it's Buddhism or Jainism, Hinduism, Taoism. One should follow one's own path and construct it along the lines of what the heart is most engaged in, what one is truly passionate about. And it's not the things you were doing as a child. So don't believe those New Agers who say, you know, just follow the inner child, awaken the inner child. Well, no, that's only part of the story. There's a lot more to it than that. Because one needs a serious intent, an unbending intent, in order to attain anything. Because what we call attainments in the contemporary world are merely consolations, trivialities. Very few people have attained anything of any significance. The kind of attainments I'm talking about are permanent. You know, they can't be easily, they can't be at all taken away from you. The Master Shaman Don Juan said that a warrior is never under siege because he has no personal possessions that could be blockaded. A warrior has nothing in the world except his impeccability, and that cannot be threatened. It's the only thing that can't be threatened, because unless you can measure up to the challenges that lie ahead of you, to your adversaries before you, how are you going to get anywhere? How can you move forward when someone stronger than you is pushing against you all the time? You have to gradually stand up and come into your own centre, the unshakable centre, and then they don't have power over you anymore. So once you've evolved to a certain level of understanding through, you know, observing yourself and measuring your progress, you're going to forget things. You're going to stumble. You're going to stumble constantly, and this will weaken you. You know, one must have a lion heart of a spirit, and not just that, but appropriate techniques and skills on how to integrate themselves. So basically, everything that I talk about comes down to three things: diligence, strength, and purpose.